So picture this, Angel Reese, one of the biggest names in the NBA, is now facing a lawsuit. Yeah, that's right, a lawsuit, and not just from any team, but the Chicago Sky. The accusation, steroid use.
Angel Reese, the superstar of the WNBA, is having some mental health problems, or people over social media are praying for her mental health because she's cracking under the...
Apparently, she's been using performance-enhancing drugs, and now her whole career is on the line. Seriously, Monba and steroids. Not something you hear every day, right? But Reese, she's right in the middle of it all, and this whole story is just starting to unravel.
She's backing away from the media and claiming a little bit of victim status, and then everybody goes to social media. We praying for you, Angel. Angel, we praying for you. We just hope you survive mentally.
So, how did it all come to this? The Chicago Sky decided to take things to a whole new level by filing a lawsuit against Angel Reese. The claim, they're saying she used steroids during key games, and it cost them their shot at making the playoffs. Now, a move like this, unheard of in the WNBA. Legal battles between teams and players don't just happen every day. But the Sky, they're not holding back, accusing Reese of using performance-enhancing drugs to dominate on the court, and they're saying it wasn't fair play. What's even wilder is that Reese got cut from the team right after these allegations came out. It's like Chicago Sky didn't even want to deal with her anymore. They went straight to the courtroom. No team has ever gone this far in the WNBA before, and if they're right, this could change everything. Angel Reese didn't exactly have a quiet start in the WNBA. She came in with a lot of hype, especially after her college days at LSU. She was already making headlines, known for her fierce attitude and her bold moves on and off the court. But here's the thing, when she entered the WNBA, it wasn't as smooth as she probably expected. The competition, way tougher. And then there was Caitlin Clark, that Caitlin Clark, the rookie sensation who seemed to steal the spotlight at every turn.
Angel Reese at LSU, when she was in Maryland, in the Big Ten, and the SEC, the media that covered her basketball career, it wasn't that they looked like her, but they were all champions of women's sport. And so they were going to cover Angel Reese in the game in a certain way. They were always going to be trying to sell the women's game and sell the women's players and put the best face on everything. So she's used to fawning cover. Now that she's stepped in, now that Caitlin Clark has attracted Jason Whitlock and Dave Portnoy and others to this deal, and people that cover sports and talk about sports, we're not sitting around going like, hey, how can we build up women's basketball and make every women's player sound like she's Mother Teresa and the greatest thing to ever happen?
For Reese, it wasn't just about playing basketball anymore. It became about staying relevant, keeping her name in the headlines, and some say maybe that's where things started going wrong. When you've got someone like Clark breaking records and shining without controversy, it's hard not to feel the pressure.
Don't make a layup, and people, I've seen it, people are actually standing up applauding, and here's what's gonna happen, Jason. These women that are playing with and against her, they notice this. And there's only going to be more and more built up animosity as time goes by, because I'm going to say it again, many of those people in that arena last night and other nights and future nights, they're not WNBA fans, they're not women basketball fans, they are Caitlin Clark stans, led by Jason Whitlock.
Let me piggyback your point.
Allegedly, that's when Reese might have started looking for shortcuts like steroids to keep up.
She rarely gets told the truth. And then all of a sudden, she runs into a guy that, like, no, I'm gonna tell you the truth. And she, well, I've never been treated this way. People actually are holding me accountable for what I say and do. And so if you wanna sit there and say, hey, I'm the reason that this audience is showing up too, there are going to be people like me and others that are going to say, well, I'm not really sure, because without Caitlin Clark, no one knows or cares anything about you, Angel.
And from Angel Reese's side, though, things look a bit different. She hasn't been quiet about the whole situation. She's been vocal in the past about being a target, saying that people are always looking for ways to tear her down.
Be the big bad wolf and then kind of cry like Courage the Cowardly Dog. Nobody mourns when the villain catches an L. And Angel Reese, you're self-proclaimed to be the villain.
This lawsuit, to her, it's probably just another example of that. Reese has built a reputation on standing her ground, never backing down from critics, and this situation seems no different. There's also talk that she might play the victim card here, arguing that this lawsuit isn't really about steroids, it's about her. She's always been a polarizing figure, loud, unapologetic, and not afraid to call out the system. So it wouldn't be a surprise if she claims that the league is trying to push her out because she doesn't fit their idea of what a star player should be.
Yeah, she did wear the villain role on her sleeve, no doubt about that. She didn't do a lot to help herself when she was winning the NCAA championship last year against Iowa, and she was taunting Caitlin Clark.
For Reese, it's not just about defending herself against steroid allegations, it's about fighting for her identity as a player who's always done things her way. Steroid use in professional sports is a serious accusation, and when it comes to the on-bot, it's even more shocking. The league has worked hard to maintain its reputation and grow its fan base, so allegations like this don't just hurt one player, they can shake up the entire sport. If these claims against Reese are proven true, it could leave a stain not only on her career, but on the WNBA's image as well.
Like, check out these tweets. For instance, Angel Reese sent out this tweet yesterday. I thought the brand was cheapened. Cry about it. Okay? So she sent that out. And what was that in reference to? Well, I think it was in reference to, in general, the way she has been viewed.
The WNBA isn't as big as some other leagues, and it's been pushing to expand its audience and prove that it can compete on the global stage. But a scandal like this, it's the last thing they need. Sponsors, fans, and even the league itself could start to question the integrity of the game, and that's where things get even messier. If these allegations stick, Angel Reese is looking at some serious consequences. We're not just talking about a slap on the wrist. Her entire career could be at risk.
Way up high, as long as she's a WNBA basketball player, the basketball part of it's going to have to play in at some point, because instigating, in a sense, like, hating pays the bills, that's instigating. And I don't know how long the lifespan for that act.
Steroid use in professional sports doesn't just lead to suspensions, it can end sponsorships, damage reputations, and in some cases, lead to permanent bans. For someone like Reese, who's been a public figure since her college days, this could follow her for the rest of her life. And it's not just about the on-bot. If the Chicago Sky wins this lawsuit, it could mean the end of Reese's time in the league altogether. Her endorsements gone? Any future opportunities in broadcasting or coaching? Unlikely? Once you're labeled as a cheater, it's almost impossible to shake that off, especially in a sport that's working hard to stay clean. Reese might have thought she could outplay the system, but if the evidence stacks up, she could lose everything she's built. It's impossible to talk about Angel Reese without bringing up Caitlin Clark. These two have been linked since their college days, and now their rivalry is playing out in the on-bot. But here's the thing, while Clark has been making headlines for her record-breaking performances and clean style of play, Reese has found herself caught in controversy after controversy. And that's what makes this whole situation even worse for her.
Angel Reese, generational rebounder, possibly, very good rebounder, motor, can't shoot a lick. One of the worst shooters in the league. Like 30% from a foot out, it's disgusting. Doesn't pass, doesn't do anything, one step. She's a great rebounder, doesn't make her team better. The Chicago Sky already have as many losses this year as they did last year. They've gotten significantly worse. Meanwhile, the Fever, we all know, they're 17-16, the best record they've had in like a decade. The first time Kelsey Mitchell will ever make the playoffs. They're playing as good as anyone in the league, and it's all because Caitlin Clark is now in the MVP.
Clark has been quietly dominating the league, setting records, and letting her game do the talking. No drama, no scandals, just pure talent. Meanwhile, Reese has been struggling with inconsistency and now these steroid allegations. The comparisons between the two have only intensified, and it's hard not to wonder if that rivalry pushed Reese to make some bad decisions. Clark's success has been shining a spotlight on Reese's struggles. And now with this lawsuit, the gap between the two seems bigger than ever.
Not everybody is Michael Jordan. Not everyone is Steph Curry. Some people are Andre Drummond. Some people are a poor man's Dennis Rodman. Some people are Rudy Gobert. But you don't hear Rudy Gobert up for league MVP or talked about in the same breath as the great players. So why are we talking about Angel Reese, who is a rebounder? She has one thing well, and she does it great. She rebounds, nothing else. She does nothing else. Caitlin Clark does it all. So why do we keep comparing these two? How would you like to be Angel Reese? And every time they mention your name, they're mentioning, well, maybe Rookie of the Year, she is as good as Caitlin. Anybody with eyeballs who has ever watched basketball in their life knows they're not even the same county, zip code, country, universe as players.
Angel Reese's career is now at a crossroads. The steroid allegations from the Chicago Sky could be the downfall of one of the WNBA's biggest stars. If these claims stick, it's not just her career on the line, it could shake up the entire league. So with the lawsuit now in motion, all eyes are on what comes next. What do you think? Will Reese fight back and clear her name, or is this the end of her reign? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more Mon news.